Welcome to another episode of Low Tech Garage, and today we are back on our new to us 2009 Jaguar XJ Vandam Pla. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I recently picked this car up as a non-runner. Thought it'd be a great project for the channel, and I am a huge sucker for the last of the line XJs. So this is a X358 platform. And with being a non-runner, it has come with plenty of little issues and things that need to be resolved so we can get this thing back on the road and back to its former glory. So in the last episode, we tackled the rough running misfire. So we put brand new set of OEM plugs in it and a replacement OEM coil, and the motor is running sweet. But that brings us on to today's issue, and I think I shared this when we did the little test drive before. And that is the three amigos going on the dash. We have ABS, traction control, and cruise control not available, and a super annoying chime that's going on as well. So today our plan is to basically get the car up in the air. We did have a wheel speed sensor error, so I have a replacement one of those. Again, huge shout out to my buddy Sam. He managed to get me one of these from the junkyard that we think could do the trick, so we're going to get that installed. I'm going to walk you through the process there, and then also something I noticed, and it's minor, but when I opened the hood for the first time from getting the car, the gas struts are failed, and being a Jag, you know, we might have to spend a few minutes under the hood, so we're going to put a new set of gas struts here on the hood too. I'll walk you through that real quick as well. So with that, let's get started. Let's get this front left wheel off, and we can show you kind of what we're working on, what we plan to replace, and keep our fingers crossed that we get these error codes removed. And one last thing before we hop outside, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You may see that we are just about to hit that 5,000 subscriber threshold, which is awesome. I am super excited about that. Plan here is to continue to grow the channel. I want to bring great content about these Jags that we've been bringing back to life and keeping on the road, as well as all the muscle cars and other European cars that we have been supporting. And really just kind of share what it's like as an ownership experience, and hopefully teach you a few things along the way as far as keeping these cars on the road for yourself. So like I said, if you're new to the channel, it doesn't cost anything. Just hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and hey, drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the videos I'm putting out here. It really helps me out, and I want to just keep this content coming. So with that, let's get back to the car and see if we can fix this wheel speed sensor issue. So step one is see how many Ugga-Duggas the last psychopath used to put the lug nuts on. As you can see here, we've got a nice 5-foot breaker bar to see if we can get this lug nut undone. I've said it once, I say it again, do not use an impact gun to put your lug nuts on. It is super risky. If you get stuck, you are in a world of hurt trying to get the thing off. And you know, for the next guy, it really sucks. And yeah, let's see if we can get this off. One thing I'd actually recommend during this, as we are lifting the car up, go ahead and disconnect your battery. It is probably not required, but I'm a little bit scarred for life from the ownership of my early X350. That sometimes when I lifted it up, I put it back on the ground and the suspension could not get out of its own way to get itself re-leveled. And I found if I just disconnect the battery, get everything work-wise done, get the car back on the ground, reconnect the battery, it's kind of like it never happened, and I didn't run into suspension faults. All right, well, let's get this wheel off. A little close quarters here, but all right, well, here's our first glimpse of the suspension, brake rotor, all that jazz. A little grubby under here, but nothing too scary. Rotors are a little tired looking. We may end up doing a brake job on this, see how it drives once I get a few miles on it. But the sensor issue we are running into is this guy right here. We see it kind of snaking up here, and then it comes conveniently around here and up behind the fender liner. So you guessed it, that means fender liner's got to come out. So let's get started on that and see if we can get access to the plug. So upon some further investigation, got this 10mm plastic nut. There's a T30, and then there's one more up here too. So we're gonna get those undone, pull the liner back, and hopefully I can find the plug in there to unplug it and get it removed. Still in the cramped quarters here, but you can kind of see the fender liners out. So I will show you kind of where the plug is lurking back here now. And there you have it. So you can kind of see it there. So let's get this thing unplugged. For those, let's see if I can get, you can kind of see it right there. So that's what we're gonna be removing and get the new sensor in. All right, so here it is. It's easy enough to unplug. I pushed the wheel liner back in, and now we just have these little clips back here, right here. And then as it comes here, we have to unclip it off the brake line, which we can do now, here, and here. I'm gonna unclip the other one over here, and then we should be able to access where it goes into the back of the wheel hub. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to unclip this blind, but this is the little sensor clip right here. I'm gonna work on getting this unclipped right here. And then we should be able to pull the wheel speed sensor right out of the hub. Okay folks, well here she is. The clip's a little tricky, but basically what I found, if I bring this up here, these little spring clips, just pry those off like this, and then everything comes out. And it's a little bit of wiggling, but your sensor will come out too. All right, well, I've got my replacement wheel speed sensor here. We'll give it a try. It's a junkyard one, so it's budget friendly, but let's give it a try, see if it will fit on the XJ. It looks like it's a few inches shorter than the one I just took out, but you know, there was some slack in the one I took out, so it may work. So let's give it a shot. So before reinstallation, I thought I'd point this out. There is a little keyway that you have to align in the back of the hub so that this thing will seat properly. So just keep that in mind when installing, and it should go pretty smoothly for you. All right, folks, well, you can see it's reinstalled. The little spring clip on, that's how it stays located. So now we're gonna clip this back in where it's supposed to go, and hopefully that gets us a functioning wheel speed sensor. Fingers crossed. Okay folks, so you can see now right here, cable is running up, factory location, pass behind the suspension arm. Here she is, going into the harness. So it does reach, which is great. I'm gonna get this wheel liner tucked back in here. Gonna show you that process, and then I think amazingly we're ready to get the wheel on and see if this did it. Yeah, and this is the comfortable places you find yourself in when doing jobs like this. Definitely get the feeling this car sat for a little while. Found multiple of these guys hanging out, so I think we're going to relocate them, and then let's get the wheel back on. Call that sufficient for lowering the car down. And there you have it. We're back on the ground. Used my breaker bar right here just to lean on it, make sure these are done up snug, but no impact. So next piece of this is going to require getting the car back out on the road. What I'm going to do, like I mentioned, is get those hood struts replaced. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. Super easy task, but man, it's going to make your life so much easier when working under the hood. So we'll get that done, and then we'll get the battery hooked back up, and we'll get the car back out of here and go for a little test drive and keep our fingers crossed that maybe that wheel speed sensor code is gone. So some of the observant viewers may have noticed that last time this is what was holding the hood up when we did the spark plugs. Actually, when I just opened this, you can kind of see how shiny this is right here. Basically, oil was leaking out, so these struts for the hood have failed. You can basically get replacements for about 15 bucks. So I'll put a link in the description for where I got these, but it's a nice upgrade that makes it so much easier to work on your car. And for those that haven't done this before, you just need a little flat blade screwdriver. And you basically pry this spring clip off here. And there's gonna be one located, if I can get the camera for you guys, right at the top here. And you pry these back. And basically this will allow you to pull this out and the bottom down here out, and you can put your new strut on. I'm gonna need both hands for this, so I'll come back to you guys once I have the new one mocked up in place. And just a quick view of it removed here and down here. Let's get the other one in. All right, well, here's the new one. It's just rested in place. You can see I've moved the clip out the way. As we come down here, we're doing the same. So we're gonna move these guys back up. See if I can do it with one hand. Let's see if I can, here we go. There you go. And same up here. Might be a little tricky. There we go. So now these are locked in nice. And we just gotta do the other side. And there you have it, folks. The hood's holding itself up on its own. And if we do this, let go, we're good. All right, well, I'm a lot sweatier than when I started, but back in the car, we've got the wheel speed sensor in. We got those hood struts in. It's time to start the car up. I did hook the battery back up. So let's give the car a go, see what it likes and does not like, and keep our fingers crossed that maybe it's getting this wheel speed sensor error gone. All right, so let's see what she does. Let's turn the air off so you guys can hear me. Well, I still see an ABS fault, but this could be just because the car has not moved under its own power, so it still may not have a signal. I think one thing I'm going to do before I take it for a drive is do the hard reset on the battery, the holding the positive and negative together, just to see if by chance that clears this code as well. I will put my code scanner in and do the clear here as well, just to see if that helps. All right, folks, well, we took her for a test drive, and as you can see, the ABS light is now out. The DCT code is gone. So our list of faults slowly but surely dwindling. Still have this cruise not available, and the apply foot brake and parking brake error. I've tried applying the parking brake, and basically it's not engaging. So we have to do a little research on that. And I guess we'll see if the cruise control error will clear out now that the ABS light is gone. But I'm just going to finish this little test drive. But I will say that overall this is a success with the wheel speed sensor replacement that took care of the ABS light, traction control light. So definitely some more progress, and I'll check back with you soon. Okay, so still on the test drive, and I thought, I felt like the cruise control error is associated with the ABS and DCT error. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, the well-known Three Amigos. So I pulled over and stopped, turned the car completely off, and then started it back up. And now this is what I'm left with. We just have the parking brake error where it's just not actuating. So I'd say that's really great progress. All right, well, that's where we're gonna wrap up today's video. I would chalk that up to a success. I am super thrilled that the little wheel speed cable did the trick, got rid of ABS light, DCT light, and cruise control not available, all in one foul swoop. There's actually now no stored codes in the ECU, so I'll take another scan of that and I'll pop that up just to show you guys. So really the last thing I'm dealing with here on the car is the parking brake not actuating. So I need to do a little bit of research on that and kind of find out why it's not actuating and see if that's something I can easily do. I have a suspicion I may need to get into the dealer software, the SSD, maybe reset the module, but I need to do a little research on that and see if there's something I can do without that first. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this informative. I hope you're enjoying our journey to resurrect this beautiful Jaguar. And like I said earlier, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please subscribe. We are just breaching that 5,000 subscriber mark, and I can't tell you how excited I am to continue to grow this channel and you guys to come on the journey with us. So until next time, please follow along. Definitely check out our other socials. We do our best to post there too. But otherwise, see you next time.